All right. Oh, God. Was that just the ugliest game you've ever seen? I really think that may have been one of the ugliest games I've ever been a part of. That was ugly offensively. That was ugly defensively. What's happening, everybody? What's going on? How are we tonight? Everybody doing okay? We not happy with what we've seen either. I'm not happy. You're not happy. I understand. It's fine. It's no big deal. Tuesday and 3. Yes, it's unacceptable. Not happy. Definitely with you and not happy with what we've seen. But let's chalk this up to just a bad game. I'm sorry for covering up your hand there. I got stuff going crazy. I'm actually holding Instagram. If you can see this, I'm actually holding Instagram with my hand because I forgot to charge it. So I have to hold in one hand and do this. So if I'm moving all around, I'm sorry. All right. This is just how it's going to have to be tonight. I don't know what to tell you. It was ugly on the field for the Dodgers. It's ugly for me here right now having to do this. So with holding and talking, and this is turning. I'm not holding up that well. Hey, it's great. It's fine. I'm going to try and do two things at once here by doing this way, all right? There we go. I hope everybody can see me okay, and I can move around and use a mouse and go, come on. All right, so let's just go right into this. We don't need to do any of this other stuff. Real easily, this was a game of poor defense, softly hit balls, and that was about it. And Zach Wheeler looking good for a while. I still believe, yes, and everybody should absolutely still believe. Where was Machado? Machado was just not playing tonight. He got an off day because he has another off day, and to have another off day tomorrow, so he'd be ready and set to go with in Colorado. So that's why you did not see Max Muncy in the field tonight. All right, so really the defense was just awful. I'm not really sure what to think about with Grandal anymore. I feel like he has the catching yips, where a ball is coming at him and a guy's about to score and he just freaks out and drops every single pass that comes his way. Pass. Look at it, I'm already starting to think about football. But no, it's every single ball that comes his way, he's just dropping. I don't understand what it could possibly be. He just has the catching yips. Is that what we have? Is what I'm chalking this up to? I'm chalking it up to bad luck. You know that song? Chalk it up to bad luck. That's exactly what it was tonight. Because those were softly hit balls. The reason that they were getting these runs were just these little soft little pop-ups, and everything was just happened to be landing. And it's crazy. It just, balls were dropping. Kike Hernandez dropped the ball. Brian Dozier dropped the ball. Yasmani Grandal dropped the ball for the 30,000th time this year. It's just, you got to chalk it up to just some bad luck. Little soft hit balls, poor defense. And just want to tell you guys real fast, everybody knows what's going on here, but Kenley Jansen is not going to be with us us Dodgers in Colorado. Doesn't make any sense to go there. Doesn't make any sense for his heart. Unfortunately, I'd rather him be healthy and not feeling poorly instead of closing for us in Colorado, which is very, very essential. Last I saw, Colorado was down 1-0, but then I think Trevor Story hit a home run, so I don't know what the score is. I think they're gonna be fine. I'm saying 2 of 3 they take in Colorado, especially those first two. It's going to be, you have Kershaw, and then you have Buehler, and then you have Wood. I think 2 of those 3 are Dodger wins. Kershaw, Buehler are Dodger wins. That's what I'm saying. I'm calling it now. Calling it now, people. All right, let me see if I can do this, because this is all messed up. I'm far away. It's all nutty. All right, so now that was enough of my 4 minutes of talking. Let's go. All right, so here we go. Dodgers 35-10. Do you think that the Dodgers still win the division? Yes, I do still think they win the division. I think they win this 2 of 3 this weekend against the Rockies. They overtake them for first place. I think then the Rockies have a harder schedule. They still have to play the Diamondbacks 6 times. They still have to play the Dodgers another 3 more times at Dodger Stadium. This is still too low. I'm just gonna get rid of it. There's too many times. The Dodgers will be on top when it all is said and done. I understand that it's tough to feel that way, especially after that. How about Hamilton Au? How about a new manager? We've done the whole manager thing. The manager does nothing to do with it. He doesn't put the lineup. You know, most people actually thought that this was a good lineup, Alex Sanchez. People liked this kind of lineup, this lefty lineup against Zach Wheeler, and I think that was the 4th home run for Cody Bellinger against Wheeler. So there was a lot of, for the most part, that's what you expected to have in there. Unfortunately, as it happens sometimes, it didn't work out then. It didn't work out tonight. So what are you gonna do? And then let's see what it's not the end of the world, guys. We still have a chance. Taylor Spencer, you're absolutely right. It's exactly here. On to Colorado. I don't know if you've said anything else on there, Hollywood Caesar, but ugly defensive game. Yes, very ugly defensive game. On to Colorado. That's what we do. We move on to Colorado. That crazy Gio. You're crazy, man. Honeycutt is a good pitching coach. Let's keep him there right in that pitching coach sense. All right. Let's move on. I've talked a little bit. Let's try YouTube. Andrew Martinez, you always hear about. You buzzed? No, not tonight. I didn't even, you know what? I didn't even bring out the Lagavulin tonight. I should have. After a loss, I should bring out a Lagavulin after every time the Dodgers lose. But you know what? Then I would be drinking lots and lots of Lagavulin. On our way to Benihana, and you're on the phone. Hey, that's great, Andrew. Listen to me. Show me to the Benihana guy there. Be like, hey, just tell him that I want him to throw the make the, what is it? The happy face? The volcano. Make the volcano with the onions. Or he throws something and he catches it in his shirt pocket. Do some crazy tricks. Get it all. That Benihana's fun. I like Benihana. This is why I don't like blowout games. I'm not sure what the reason for it was that you didn't like it, but I don't like blowout games, period. But the one thing I do like about blowout games is that you kind of get over it pretty quick, and you're ready to just go on to the next, and move on, and be ready to go on to the Rockies and say, all right, look, it was a bad game. Losing 2-3 to the Mets really stings. We ran into the two best Met pitchers. I mean, the bullpen is garbage, and we should have been able to beat that, but no. And am I high? No, I don't smoke, so no, I'm not high. I'm pretty dead sober right now. Could use a drink, though. Does anyone like Grandal? Grandal has a lot of good qualities. When he's hot, he is hot, and he is unstoppable offensively. When he is not, he looks like the guy he does right now. And really, Grandal, I was saying it earlier, he's got the catching yips at this point. He cannot catch. I don't understand what's going on with him, because this is just like Chuck Knobloch when he was the second baseman for the Yankees, and all of a sudden he just couldn't throw from second base to first base. Everything was thrown up. He's got someone, I think it was FRG, real FRG on our little group Dodgers Nation chat, said that he should use a first baseman's glove. You know what? It's not that bad of an idea. Really, maybe he should use a first baseman glove. I'm kind of with it. We still got time, but it's up to Dodgers to make it happen. Don't depend on other teams. Yes, they have to win. And they absolutely have to win, and they have to win in Colorado. You have to win the games that count, and all these games count. Sit his ass down, bring in Rocky Gale. That's what Rocky Gale is a good defensive catcher, but you're getting the same guy that you got before in Austin Barnes. Is that what you want? You want Rocky Gale to come in and be him? I don't know. That's what you really want. Hopefully he does something good, but for the most part, Rocky Gale is a third catcher, and we're really not going to see him, because the most offense you're going to get is from what's his name? From Yasmani Grandal. That's just where it's going to be. Why leave in Ryu for so long? I mean, really, in the fifth, he only had about 70 pitches. He gave all those shots they were little bloop hits that landed in the outfield somehow. I don't really know how. That's just baseball. Weird things like that. And then he pitched the sixth inning, and he got out of the sixth inning just fine. So it's fine. Denial is not just another river in Egypt. You can believe that as much as you want, but really, I know I get made fun of, but Gregory Peach, yes, it's not just another. There's no denial. You have to see what's ahead of you. This wasn't the same offense as you're going to get. I don't know why. Like, the batting lineup is the batting lineup. It's all analytically based, and that's how it's going to be no matter what we want. Farmer hasn't been playing catcher hardly at all. Andrew Ian Wilson, you're right. They have not been. He has not been. It's Rocky Gale is the guy. He's the third catcher. Kyle Farmer, they're saying that Kyle Calderon, which we're talking about right now, should Farmer catch? No, because they don't like him as a catcher. They think that he is a third baseman, and that's who he is. He doesn't have the defensive abilities to be a catcher. So they moved him down. So they moved him out of that. It's going to be, if somebody else goes in, it's Rocky Gale. If not, Austin Barnes. Austin Barnes is really the guy that you're going to see the most part. Acceptance is key. Accept the series loss, move on, and keep pushing. We got to grind out these last 3 weeks. Enough said. Dodgers are a different postseason team. So let's focus on getting there. Let's stay positive. If you bleed blue and love the Dodgers like I do, you got to stay positive. John Anthony Samaron, look at you. I feel like I should have some Field of Dreams music behind me while that's going on. Acceptance is key. accept the series loss, move on, and keep pushing. I love it. That was good stuff right there. I feel like I'm all energized just for that. How do you let the Mets take 2 out of 3? You ran into Jacob deGrom and you ran into Zach Wheeler, who both pitched really well. Although they got 3 runs off of Wheeler, that should be enough against that team, especially how bad they are. It's too bad. It's the wrong time of year to lose 2 out of 3. Can somebody help me out with the Colorado game so I don't have to look it up? I believe the last I saw I was at least tied. What happened tonight? Yeah, I know. Brooks Smith, who can throw a ball over them mountains over there. Chase Utley can't possibly make the postseason roster, right? You know what, Brooke? I don't think he can. I mean, you need that type of guy there, but the veteran presence that's been there. But I can't see him making the postseason. The postseason roster doesn't look like it's for him. Offense is way too inconsistent. Not seeing if change. Let's see. Brian Robitaille. To be fair, Wheeler pitched well. Some bad luck with soft hit balls falling in tube. Defense was bad though. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's another guy from Dodgers Nation too. But yes, that was the type of game that you had tonight. You had that weird baseball game where everything landed for the Mets and nothing landed for the Dodgers except for those 2 home runs. They only had 3 hits, maybe 4. I think it was only 3, but I'm pretty sure it was 3. It was just one of those nights. Frustrating to see them explode offensively in one game and struggle immensely the next. That's what you're going to see a lot of Cybernetics later. That's what you're going to see a lot. That's how this team is built up. 2-1 Rockies, top 3 1 out. All right, thank you, Andrew. Too bad. Will Smith, no shot at the roster. Cam Rill, he was not brought up. Most likely you're not going to see him. Can we get Bellinger and Muncy in there every day, man? The natural 31, I think that's what most people want, but this is an analytic-based offense, and this is on Instagram. It's an analytic-based offense and defense for the most part, and they're going to go with who they think is the hot guy, or not even the hot guy. They think he has the best matchup because analytics say that the best matchup, a lefty is more likely to hit a righty and a righty is more likely to hit a lefty. So you're going to have those all lefty lineups, all righty lineups. The only guys you're going to see in and game out are going to be Justin Turner and Manny Machado, and that's really about it. Those are the guys that you're going to see for the most part. I think I would love to see more Belly. I would love to see more Muncy. I'd love to see most of those guys, but unfortunately, it's probably not what we're going to see. So we all have to, unfortunately, accept it. I don't like accepting it. I know all the Dodger Nation guys don't like to accept it, but that's kind of way it's going to be. Analytics lost us the World Series. You could say that. You could say the analytics got us to the World Series by being so deep. You know, if a bunch of this is how crazy baseball is. All these things dropped the other night tonight for the Mets. Last year, all these things dropped for the Dodgers. It's just baseball. It's tough. Turner, Ward, and Grandal need to be far. I understand the anger and the hostility. I think, but for the most part, you have to be accepting of these types of games. And also, it was an early game. Let's see. Will the Dodgers be in the World Series? I honestly believe still that yes, they will be in the World Series. I know that sounds absolutely crazy. Cybernetic Slayer, how about the Arizona game today? There was no Arizona game today. They didn't play today. Some random Wednesday off again. I don't know why they did it. I think it was Colorado last week that had the Wednesday game off. Now Arizona has the Wednesday game off today. The postseason is still very, very likely, and if you look at the at FanGraphs, I think they still have them as 80% odds to get into the playoffs. Most likely, they're still going to get in. It's how it's going to. We have to all believe, and I really do believe that they will. They have a better record. They have the better schedule coming forward. They have everything that you need. The balls just need to drop, and they seem to drop more against the better teams. Look what happened. They took 3 of 4 from Arizona. Hopefully, they take 2 of 3 at least from Colorado. Colorado's been hot, but they're also playing garbage as well. So and they're not running into some of the best pitchers in the game. Let's see. Being a Dodger fan, this kind of frustration is somewhat typical, but that doesn't mean we can't come back and pull it off. They just don't call them dem bums for no reason. See, that's what I'm saying. You guys are starting to come with me here. After months or weeks and months of telling you guys, everybody, that they'll be just fine. I still believe they'll be just fine. I know I'm crazy to think that, but there still will be good. They're not consistent. When you don't have a consistent lineup, you don't have a consistent team, and that's kind of what, because it's. But for the most part, you're gonna have the guys that are playing every day are being consistent. I would like to see a more consistent lineup too. I'm with all of you. I'm with everybody that they should be more consistent. It's just not how the front office works, unfortunately, and that kind of stinks. It's too bad. I wish that they did. I did all my analytics, and projection came out that the Dodgers would not make the playoffs. Dodger Blue 1030. I'm glad that you did your analytics, but they're still favored to get to the playoffs, and they're favored. You know what? I was looking at it today. Before this game, they were 15% by Fangraphs to win the World Series. Do you know what the Red Sox, who have like 1,000 wins this year, are? The Red Sox were 16% chance to win the World Series. The team with the highest percentage to win the World Series were the Astros. The Dodgers were third, number 1 in the NL. So if the Dodgers can and they should get to the playoffs, I think they have a good path to the World Series. So it's still something that it's still going to happen. I understand the anger, I understand how upset you are, but I still believe that it will happen. I'm trying to give you the best reasons I can to do that, but I'm still. So if you guys got actual questions, and I'm happy to answer all those. Let's see. Front office picks Darvish over Verlander. Like I said, that's like choosing Roseanne Barr over Mila Kunis. I mean, while that's kind of funny, and I don't like Roseanne because of the things that she said, being Jewish, not a big fan of that. Everybody was like, oh my God, Darvish was a great pickup. They could have gotten Verlander. And you were thinking, okay, he's had a couple good starts going into it, but Verlander was not. And really, Verlander did not. He should have lost 2 games in the World Series. He lost 1, and he should have lost the second one if it was not for a Marvin Gonzalez home run in the top of the 9th against Kenley Jansen in Game 2. Verlander would have lost that game also. So let's be careful with Justin Verlander. Let's see, why didn't Darvish work for the Dodgers? Darvish didn't work for the Dodgers because he tips his pitches, and they could not figure that out. Look at him now in Chicago. He's done for the year. He can't figure it out. Darvish is completely lost. He's got nothing left in it. As soon as he started tipping his pitches while still in Texas, he had a good series in the ALCS or the NLCS against Arizona, but after that, Houston just knew what he was going to throw and knocked him out twice. There was no reason for him to be in that Game 7. But I always get pulled back in. I somehow get pulled back into this World Series last year talk. It's a year ago. It's over almost a year ago now. Come on, let's move past the World Series. Don't bring me back into that hellhole that I lived in then. The Dodgers need to get their stuff together and get fired up, especially now, because now is the right time to get on a huge hot streak. Now is the time. And they were. And even, you know what? Even they still are. It's 9 of their last 12. I know they've lost 2 of their last 3, but they still have won 9 of their last 12. I know it hurts. I know it sucks every time they lose, but we don't win and lose every single. You don't win and lose the division every single game. So we'll be okay. 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 I think that's about as many times I can say it. How many games are left for the Dodgers? Well, the Dodgers are now 76 and 64. That is, let's see, that's 81-40. So they have 22 games left. 22 games left, and they can win most of those games. They got a tough 4-game set against the St. Louis Cardinals. They got 3 against. They got 6 still against the Rockies. They got 3 still against Arizona, but then they still have 3 against Cincinnati, and then they have 3 against San Francisco. So they have some easier games along with some of these tougher games. However, I think they have the better schedule between all 3. Giants and Rockies are tied 2-2. Let's go. We need the Rockies to lose to stay a half game back. You don't want to go a game and a half back going into the series against Colorado, because if you get to and it's only a half game back when you see each other, it's great. That's easy. You take 2 or 3 and you're way in front. Let's see. I was there, very sloppy. That game was Kevin Marcus. Where are you at, Kevin Marcus? Are you actually on your way out of Dodger Stadium right now and listening? Just honk your horn a bunch of times and be like, hey, Turn on Periscope. Turn on Facebook. Turn on Instagram. Turn on YouTube. Turn on Twitch. Go listen to this guy, Greg. He's going to make you feel better after the game. That's what we should do. That's what you should do. Just yell out the window really loud. You're in traffic, Kevin. I know you are. You're going down. You're about to get on the 5. Just yell really loud. Gail Johnson, hi Greg. I think the biggest issue right now is the inconsistent hitting, especially with runners in scoring position. What do you think is so different with their plate approach these days? You're absolutely right. It's been runners in scoring position has been a tough thing this entire year. Their plate approach, I feel like it's getting better over these last 12 games. I know they just lost 2 of 3, but over the last, in these wins with the 9 of 12, they're hitting better because they're seeing more pitches. They're being more patient like they were last year. So I think, and there some guys like Cody Bellinger, with 2 strikes, he's turned into a guy that is going to shorten up his swing and just try and get on base. So you saw Taylor last night actually get on base 3 times in a game. So hopefully that's starting for him to start coming around. I know he had a strikeout tonight, which is his MO, but he struck out a lot last year too. I think that their plate approach is starting to be more be patient, walk as much as possible, and shorten up your swing for a most sense, and hit the home run and swing for the fences when you get your pitch to swing for the fences. I mean, you got to feel bad for a guy like Manny Machado. I mean, he's been hitting really well, but multiple times, two games in the last week or so, he's had a double down either the left side or the right side, and it just bounces wrong where he gets stuck at first or whatever it is, and he doesn't bring in anybody home because of the bounce, and that's baseball. Dodgers, all right, of course, strange, but who cares? Dodgers won't make the playoffs. I'm sorry you feel that way. I think they're going to. McGuire better than Ward. I mean, Turner Ward is. I mean, you can blame so many different things, but yes, running in scoring position has been a problem. Runners in scoring position was better last year. It's sometimes they fall, sometimes they don't. Why wasn't Machado in the lineup tonight? That was a Dave Roberts and Andrew Friedman, Farhan Zaidi a special that's saying that he wanted Machado to have a day off before a day off to be fresh and ready to go in Colorado. You moved Clayton Kershaw's start last week so that he can start game 1 of this series. This is a big deal. So if the Giants can just help us out a little bit and get that win against Colorado tonight, it makes a big, big difference. Water, drink some H2O. You know what? I forgot to get it today. I usually have my Dodger glass or a bottle or, some Lagavulin or something sitting in front of me, and I totally forgot to do it today. I just wanted to come on and talk to you guys because I was so excited to hear you guys be sad about this loss. How do you feel about Kenley not going to Colorado? Lexi Russell, Facebook. That's a good question. I am fine with him not going to Colorado. I'm upset that we don't have our closer in Colorado, and I know we're going to need him. It's more so that his heart is way more important, and so I'd rather him not have any issues in Colorado. He's already had them twice. I'd rather him be back in LA and just hopefully we get through those with at least 2 or 3 wins and without needing him. It's tough. You need Kenley there. He looked great tonight too. Let's see. You are going like the Energizer Rabbit. I love it. You know what? That's something I'm actively working on. While I'm talking, I want to slow down. So if you see me speeding through things and just going, the Dodgers are going to be divided, and just talking really fast, just put in giant letters in any one of these different platforms. Put slow down, or just like put a hand stop up, like the 5 fingers. Put like the 5 fingers up. Just be like, hey, stop, and I'll remind myself to slow my voice down and talk at a more regular pace and talk just to you guys like this because that's just fun, right? Will Roberts have a job next year if the Dodgers go out early? Benjamin Valdez. You know what? Yes, I do think that Roberts will still have a job if the Dodgers go out early because think about it. There's just nobody else that's going to do the same thing. I know a lot of fans want him gone, but in his 3 years as the Dodgers manager, he's gone to Game 7 of the World Series. He went to the ALCS, and he went to the ALDS the year before that. I mean, ALDS, ALCS, Game 7 of the World Series, maybe out of the playoffs. Did you get rid of Bruce Bochy in San Francisco after he won the World Series, lost, didn't even make the playoffs? Won the World Series, didn't even make the playoffs. Won the World Series? No, this is an analytic world we live in, and Dave Roberts has the analytic mind, and he talks with the analytic guys, and he does whatever they say. And there you go, the fourth quarter shop. I shouldn't say it. I know I keep saying it, but I really shouldn't. But yes, he's a puppet. He's a guy that does whatever the front office wants him to do. I'm sorry that, if that's the way that it has to be said, but it is. Let's see. On YouTube, 2-2 bottom 3. If Rockies lose tonight, we will be fine. Even if they win, we'll be fine. But yes, if they lose, they'll be much, much better. The high K rate doesn't worry you like you think that, and the running and scoring position issue is just going to vanish. It's probably what they're most consistent at. I do think it's an issue, and I'm hoping that it's getting better as it goes on. Manny Machado has gotten better at it. He's gotten Justin Turner's gotten better with running and scoring. It's about getting the right guys on at the right time and making that lineup look like it has the right guys at the right time. Matt Kemp hit multiple home runs, or hit a home run and a double off the wall in twice this weekend with guys on base. So the running and scoring position, here's the thing. This Dodgers team is hitting the ball extremely, extremely hard. They're just not getting the balls to fall, and they will. It's baseball. They start to fall eventually. It's been taking a long time for them to be falling, but I think they're going to start falling now. Do you think Austin Barnes is going to get hot? I don't know if he's going to get hot, but we've been talking about it for a little while now. His at-bats have gotten better, where he is walking and he's singling. He had that home run last night. There's a lot of things that you're seeing. I've been talking about it for a few weeks now. Austin Barnes' at-bats have looked better. I don't think he's there yet. I don't think he's the guy that he was last year. He's been bad for most of the year. I'm with you, but his at-bats have looked better. He's being more patient. He's seeing more pitches. He's getting 7, 8, 9, 10 pitches per at-bat a lot of times. And if he's not, sometimes he strikeouts, but it's usually on the 7th or 8th or 9th pitch. There's a lot of things that happen. I think that Austin Barnes will eventually. He's a great defensive catcher, and I think he's going to be a good hitter moving forward. Hopefully, just enough that he's going to be a good on base guy, and that's important to have, especially at the bottom of the lineup. You're thinking that, let's see, pathetic. All these players they signed and yet won't make the playoffs. I don't know why you don't think they won't make the playoffs. Playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs. Dave Roberts' performance in the World Series. I'm not talking about the World Series, Cam. I've decided to banish myself from talking about the World Series. I won't do it anymore. If you want to talk about the World Series, you can talk about it on the official Dodgers Nation Facebook page. Happy to see you guys do it. I can't do it anymore. It hurt too much. It sucked. But I still think they can make it back there, and I actually think they will be. Can we be real, Manuel Ochoa? Let's be real. I'm being as real as I am. I'm telling you, I honestly and to my fullest degree, I believe they're still making this playoffs. And when we come back in September, remember we talked about this before. September 15th. Come at me on September 15th. Tell me where they are. I'm saying they're in first place alone on September 15th, and then we can start talking about whether or not we're in panic mode or not. It's not there yet. It's just half a game back is not there yet. What do you think about David Freese? Should we keep him next year? Most likely he's just a rental. No, I don't think we should keep him next year. I mean, he'd be good off the bench. He doesn't have a lot of power. He's got some decent OBP. He hits lefties pretty well. But no, I don't think we keep him next year. I don't think he's worth the money. And I think there's enough guys There's enough guys on this roster that we don't need to. What's our record on day games? I don't know that exact number. I could probably look it up. I don't have the ability to look it up right now. I'm using every single one of my devices to talk to you guys, so I can't go into it. I got Instagram on one phone that's not even this teeny little 5C phone. Look here, I'm going to bring this up here so you can see this. Look at this teeny little thing here. And that's my phone for Instagram, so I can't do anything about that. I got my iPad running so you can get on all these different. I got my phone being my camera that's also using the microphone to do it. I got this teeny little mic thing going on so that my audio actually works up. So I can't look it up, but if you want to look it up, go on to just type in Los Angeles Dodgers stats on Baseball Reference. And then go to their splits, and you'll see day and night game splits. I don't have it in front of me right now. For $500,000 buyout, probably better getting rid of him. Yeah, they're just trying to save money. Let's not bring back Grandal. He's probably going to leave on his own, so I don't know. 1.5 back. No, they're only a half game. Actually, well, as of right now, they're 1 game back. If the Rockies lose Dr. Baseball, then they're only a half game back. We don't even have wild card. Last I saw, we were only a game back in the wild card, so it's not. There might be a little bit more now after the loss on Monday, but last I saw, they were only a game back. So Megatasking, that's right, Pacific Patriot. I'm actually on 5 different things. I'm on 5 different platforms. I'm on Facebook Live, Instagram Live, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch. So I haven't talked to Periscope in a little while, so let's go to Periscope. The Dodgers will go 3-7 on this next road trip. The end is near. They're actually better on the road. They've been very good on the road, so I don't know why you would think that. They got 3 coming up here against the going to Colorado. Then they got 3 against Cincinnati, and then they got 4 against the St. Louis Cardinals, and I think they win a lot of those games. They do really well on the road. What up, poor Greg? What's up, Marcus? How you doing, man? Dodgers Nation, we just have to have faith. I yelled because she wrote it all in. Virginia Ortiz wrote it in big words. It says, Dodgers Nation, we just need to have faith. Let's go, Dodgers. Let's go. See, I like that. Speaking of Grandal, Dodgers offer a qualifying offer. It's it's tough. I don't know. I don't think they like his defense. He's actually top 5 defensively this year, which is crazy to think. I think over the last month, though, he's gotten the defensive yips, so we're not seeing the same guy. I think so. I don't know what's going to go on with Grandal. It really depends on what you see from Austin Barnes the rest of the way. It really depends on what you see from Rocky Gale, if he gets any time. What Will Smith does in AAA, he did not do too well in AAA so far. What Keibert Ruiz does in AA, if he moves up, how he hits in spring training, you're going to see different guys at catcher. I think they have a good catcher stable coming through. So maybe Yaz goes, maybe he doesn't. I would think that he may go. Sausage, I'm with you. Not giving up. It's not over till it's over. That's right. See, Treft errors. Yep, I agree with you. I think it's just not up. Come on, we got this. Vamos Doyers. Tell me what you are smoking so that I can have it. Also, I really shouldn't feed into this trolling from you, Hamilton. I like you, but I shouldn't feed into it. But if you actually go look at the defensive stats, he, especially with pitch framing, he's top 5. I can't say it any other way. It's just the truth. Yeah, what do you think about third base, shortstop, and second base next year? I'm not ready to get to second base, or to get to next year, because I'm still on this year. But next year, Turner is your third baseman. If you can re-sign Machado, you do it, but I don't think they do. I think he's going to cost too much money, and the Yankees are going to pay him more and allow him to play wherever he feels like it. Probably at third base, he would play there. I think Seager comes back, and he's your everyday shortstop. If not, maybe at second base, but I do think you re-sign Dozier. Millie Rod, no one talks smack about Grandal when he hits all those home runs. Keep Grandal. No one does, because he's extremely hot and cold, Millie. When he is hot, he hits bomb after bomb after bomb. When he's not, he strikes out every at-bat or grounds into double plays or is just completely useless at the plate. So you hope you get him to be the next... be hot going into the playoffs. NL West finish, hate to say it, 1 AZ, 2 LA, 3 Colorado. I don't agree with that, Oxnard. I think the Dodgers win. I think Arizona is going to fall back. Can they play the rest of their games on the road? And also, let's think about this for real for a second, right? Because Colorado, while everyone's saying that Colorado's really good, their bullpen is hot garbage. Absolute, complete hot garbage. They've spent over $100 million on bullpen, and they've all been terrible. There's nobody. Wade Davis has been a joke. I mean, he's been a little bit better recently, but they're not. Once it gets to good people, he's not gonna be that good. 3-2 Giants. There we go. That's what I like to see. Playing like this is not going to help us get us nowhere. No, it's been tough, and not getting more than 3 runs besides last night's 11, not a good sign either. Hey, Krish, what's happening, Krish, on YouTube? Krish, what's happening? Enrique Guzman, how I can see the Dodgers game? I live in Santa Barbara. All right, Enrique, this is what you're going to do. You're going to find me on Twitter, @BergmanGreg, @BergmanGreg. It's the same on Instagram, actually. It's @BergmanGreg on Instagram. I haven't really posted much except for my kids, but for the moment, I'm going to start doing more. Go to, Enrique, go to Twitter, find @BergmanGreg, DM me. I'll tell you exactly how you see it. It's how I watch every single game. So don't worry about it. I will be happy to help you find the Dodger games, because I watch the Dodger games a certain way. And I've told many of you, I'm sure many of you on here right now use my little systems. Seager is a good player, but he's not a scary player. I would want them to sign Manny or Bryce. Super Ruby. Seager is a good player. Seager is going to be a MVP one day. That's how good he is. Seager is extremely good. You're forgetting exactly how good Seager is. He's going to be amazing, and he's going to win an MVP at some point in his career. So I think Bellinger has a shot at it too. By having Turner, Seager, and Bellinger, that is a strong one. I'm not saying that out loud, Super Ruby, because I don't want people to know it. So I will only put it on, I will not write it out on the webs because I want it not to be known. It will only be in DM that I will say things about that. All three NOS teams' bullpens are garbage at this time. So you guys are not thinking about how good this Dodgers bullpen has actually been. They gave up 0 runs today, by the way. Let's just remember that. No, they didn't. No, they gave up 2. It was 7-3. They did give up a couple, but they actually in August they were going to be they were top 5 bullpen in all of August, and I think it was even closer to 3rd or 4th. So let's not be careful. You're thinking about that 9th inning, and the 9th inning has been really bad when Kenley Jansen's not in. It's the truth. You told me, Sausage, about games, and I'm grateful for that. Thank you, brother. Hey, you're welcome, man. I'm happy to help you in any sense. I'm always happy to help guys. All right, let's see. On Instagram, I hope so. Dodgers did best. Diamondbacks and took first place in division. They will do it again in Colorado. Exactly. Will Machado be a Dodger next season? I hope so. I really like Machado. I think Machado has been fantastic, and offensively and defensively, and he's really started to pick up. If you have him here for the whole season, then it's going to be even better. So I think that, but I just don't think they have the money. He's going to demand $300, $350, $400 million. The Yankees are probably willing to pay that. The Phillies are probably welcome to play that. They're willing to pay that. I don't know if the Dodgers are going to be. It's going to be tough. What's up, Jacob? I saw you in there, and I actually called you Jacob. I hope that makes you feel better. I'm sorry, but I don't think we should have much faith in Ryu. He always gets rocked or in a jam, and right now is not a good time for that kind of crap. Juan Reyes, you know what? Tonight was a bad game for Ryu, but really, if you actually look at it, he had... all those were just little bloops into the outfield that just barely got over guys' heads. Kike dropped the ball. Brian Dozier dropped the ball. And Grandal dropped the ball at home. He had him dead to rights at home, and that would have stopped the whole inning. There's so much. That could have changed everything. Virginia, good night, you're cool. Let's go Dodgers, believe. That's right, Virginia, good night. Thank you for listening. Let's see, the Dodgers need to work on communication and chemistry because if they can get on all the same page, they'll be hot. Nary, look, their chemistry in clubhouse is probably some of the best in all of baseball. You got to think the Red Sox have a really good chemistry going on too, especially with all those wins. There's no reason to be sad. But I think the chemistry between everybody is great. It's not that, and baseball is really not a chemistry-oriented game. I know people are going to fight me on this. That's fine. It's one of those never-ending debates on whether or not baseball is a chemistry-based game. In the clubhouse, it is. On the field, it's not. Second base, shortstop is chemistry. You need that. Catcher and first base, catcher and home, or catcher and pitcher. That's a chemistry-based thing that you need. Let's see. Probably not, but I remember you on another stream by Greg. Chemistry is overrated. Thank you. God, Village Idiot. I swear, man. I say this every time, but you know your stuff. I like talking to you. Your take on the Rockies pitchers, we will see. I will probably see. I'm not sure. Kyle Freeland has been looking really good. I haven't actually looked at to see who we're seeing. However, I think they can hit any one of them. Kyle Freeland's good in Colorado. I'm not sure if he's pitching in the series. I assume he's going to be pitching in the series, though. Let's see. I only have a little bit of time left. JMO, just my opinion. Machado hasn't proved he's worth $200 million. If you factor in what the Dodgers could do with that $200 million. Mark, you know what? I don't know what you're watching that's different than what I'm watching. I know there's a lot of times that he struck out in the 9th inning with guys on, but that was a little bit earlier. He's been getting big hit after big hit, and his defense is really, really good. It's just not the time. It's really hard to say that. He is a top 5 player in baseball, hands down. It doesn't matter. He's a top 5 player. See, I think Oxnard 58, that is a tough thing to say also. Puig is not a cancer. And most of the guys like Puig. And Puig is having fun and he's enjoying guys and he plays hard. He does some things wrong, but you kind of live with it because of who he is. there's a lot of things that, you know what, I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of things he does. John Gray has been pretty lights out after the call-up, so John Gray does look pretty good. A lot of their pitchers have been, but their bullpen is hot garbage, Oxnard. But Puig, you can't say that Puig is a cancer. That's just going a little far. Doug, do you agree with Ottavino is too wild? There's a lot of guys. I think that entire bullpen is too wild. Adam Ottavino is not any exception, as they're all not. You can get to that bullpen. Once you get to the bullpen, you can put up runs, and that's just how it is. Let's see. Manny has been solid lately. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. But he's going to be a Yankee next year. That's mostly what people think. Manny is probably going to be a Yankee. And I could also see him in Philadelphia. Philadelphia, did you see when the Dodgers were in Philadelphia a month or a month and a half ago, they went and when Manny Machado came up for the first time, they gave him a standing ovation. Because he's always said nice things about Philly, and Philly is already, they know they want him, and so why are they going to boo him because they didn't take him? Just like Milwaukee booed Machado because they didn't get him, that was dumb. Now you have Philly that actually stood up and cheered for him, and he's like, all right, I kind of like Philly, so there's a possibility he could be in Philly too. Who does Alex Verdugo remind you of? Oof, that's a good question. I'm not sure who he reminds me of. But I think he's just he kind of it's a different position, but he kind of reminds me of like an Eric Karros where he's just patient and he gets a lot of doubles, and he could be a 30-30 guy. He could be like, you know, where he hits 30-40 doubles in a year and he's going to get you 20-30 home runs. He could be that kind of guy, and hopefully he does. I like Alex Verdugo a lot. He's been a very, very strong addition. Let's see. Who is your favorite Dodgers player? Right now, Justin Turner. I love Justin Turner. That dude just comes to play. He has done nothing but come to play, and he's great defensively. I really am a big fan. The red dream is my dream. I hope he's your dream too. And also, my beard is red too. You can see it's kind of, when it gets thicker, it turns red. And there's no Irish in me whatsoever either, but you know, we got that red beard thing going on. At the same time. Let's see. Fernando Valenzuela. I really wish this was the same Fernando Valenzuela, but I'm assuming it's not the same Fernando Valenzuela. Puig got an arm from the outfield. Only one who can throw all the way to home plate. He's got a great arm. But it's also, he makes bad decisions in the outfield too. He drops a lot of balls, and he still, like that one. There was one last week that great throw to third base to get a guy out at third, and he missed the ball. Like he kicked it, and that shouldn't be how he gets guys out. Yoenis Cespedes does the same thing where he misplays a ball and then he throws a guy out at home. It's just you're going to live and die by that. Venditti has been pretty solid as well. Look, the bullpen has been pretty solid. For the guys that you're actually going to see, Venditti is a guy that can make it. He's been pretty solid. Let's see, who else has been coming in? There's a guy that I'm blanking on right now that's come in and has just been fantastic every time he comes out. It was not Alexander. Alexander's been fine. I don't know. It'll come to me in a minute. Turner's my boy, always has been. I like it. How do you think Seager will do next year? I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to take a little bit of time. So assume that the first month of the season he's going to come out slow and he's not going to be that great. But as he gets back into the swing of things, I think he's just going to tear it up next year. I've got a lot of high hopes for Seager next year. What lineup do you think that the Dodgers use? It depends on who they're playing. It's really the lefty-righty matchup. If I want just the best players in at all time, I want it to be Jock leading off, especially against a righty. Then Turner, Machado, Bellinger, Muncy. I would like Dozier lower. Let me get into Dozier for just a second. Dozier has been offensively really bad lately. I likened him to when the trade happened. I said I didn't like it. I got killed for it because he did really well. I still like Dozier, so I'm not going back on that whatsoever. But I likened him to Curtis Granderson, and I got killed for it. Curtis Granderson came in and he hit a grand slam in his second game with the Dodgers, and then he continued to, and he had a couple big hits, home runs in the early part of his time with the Dodgers, and then he just stunk the rest of the way, and he kept getting used and couldn't get it done. And that's kind of what you're seeing from Brian Dozier right now. He started off really hot, and now he's starting to look poor. It's too bad. I think he can come out of it too. I really hope he does, but it's just he still worries me that he's turning into the Granderson of last year. Let's see. Alexander has not made me happy. Lexi, only in the 9th inning. In the 8th inning, he's actually been pretty good. I know he gets guys on base, but he's really good at getting double play balls. So, and no, it wasn't Floro. Who am I thinking of that coming? Like, Venditti has been really good. Someone's coming in the 8th and I'm blanking on all names right now. I'm sorry about that. But there's a guy in the bullpen that's been really good. Hey boy, what's up, Callan? Did we talk about who the best closer would be yet? Ferguson? I don't know if Ferguson. It's tough to give Ferguson the 9th inning. I thought maybe Ryan Madson in that position might be okay, but I don't really trust Ryan Madson. Just like I don't think most of you guys trust Madson. So maybe I think you give Ryan Madson a shot. I think they're going to give Caleb Ferguson a shot there too. They'll probably give Kenta Maeda another shot, but I don't think he's got I don't think he's got it for. I think he's got it for the 9th inning. It's a little bit tough. Maybe it is Ferguson I'm thinking about, but Ferguson has been strong, but only for 1 inning. No, it's not Fields. It's definitely not Fields. I wish I had the lineup right in front of me and I'd be able to just say, oh, that's it. It's the name's just not popping to me. I don't know why. Maybe it was Ferguson, but it was definitely not Floro. Floro's been fine though. I hate when Puig makes an error. It's magnified 100 times, but when the other players do it, it's a bad play. Yeah, that's right. I mean, Baez has been really good, but I don't know if you want to see him in that 9th inning. I don't want to see him in that 9th inning. Yeesh, no. Hudson was doing it right. Nah, not Hudson. I already missed the Silver Fox. He was playing. He played tonight. He had one. He didn't even have a hit. He hit the ball into the right field and was out, and that was the end of his time. Let me get a quick shout out before I go to bed. The real Gabe Huichan. The real Gabe Huichan. What's up, man? Go Dodgers. I like it. Lisa Taryn. Maeda takes a couple of innings to do well, in my opinion. Well, I don't know. He pitched 2 innings the other night, and he blew it in the top of the 9th. So I don't like him with 2. Maeda admitted is not a 9th inning guy. Yep. See, there you go. You know what? I say this all the time. Village Idiot, can you come and do this show with me? I think we have the same opinions. So come sit here. I'm not allowed to actually ask you into my room because that's weird with cameras going. It's tough. But yeah. But you're a smart guy. I like talking to you. Do you want to hear my opinion on the Dodgers? Jacob, sure. I would love to hear your opinion. Write it out there on so everybody can see on Instagram. But I can't put you up on there. I have a really tiny screen on this little 5 computer that I'm holding in my hand at the same time. Maeda good for long relief, 8th inning guy, not closer role. Frankie Velez, I agree with you that. Yes, he is definitely just a 8th inning guy. Let's see. I can put that up. I only have about 13 minutes, so we're gonna do it. Can you tell me your Insta account again, please? It is at Bergman Greg, just like my on Twitter, at Bergman Greg. At Bergman Greg. I don't really have a lot of pictures up. I haven't been putting too many pictures up. I got some of my kids up there, but that's about it for right now. I need to start taking more pictures and putting them up for you. I'll start doing that soon, I promise. Who's getting traded this offseason? Oh, God, a lot of guys can get traded this offseason. You're going to see a lot of turnover. Hopefully, it's going to be most of the main guys are going to be there, but I think you're going to see some turnover. Hello, Carp17. Let's see, Yimmy. No, definitely not Yimmy. I'm not thinking of Yimmy Garcia. Absolutely not. Yeah, he looked awful last night. He looked awful in AAA, too. They brought him up because he was already on the 40-man roster, and that's the only reason I think. What did you... CT4? No, I don't... CT strikeout 4 times? Let's see. Oh, Ross Cup. Oh, God, thank you. Guillen Garcia. Ross Cup has looked great. I love seeing Zach Rosscup come into the games. It makes me happy. He's been decent. He's been good. Yes, so Zach Rosscup. Thank you, Guillen. That's what I'm talking about. I knew somebody was going to come up with a name. I feel better. I feel much, much better now. Let's see. Man, he looked awful. Let's see. My opinion is that Dodger lineup should be mixed up with righties and lefties more than just righty-lefty and lefty-righty matchup. I agree with you, Jacob, and I think most people on here on all of these different platforms will totally agree with you as well, that it should be that way. However, it is going to be the front office that's just not how they work. Hopefully they'll start to see they let Kike hit. He was a righty against the righty tonight a couple times. So maybe a little bit more often they're going to start letting guys hit. Kike's been looking pretty good. So I think you're going to see more guys. You're going to see less Taylor. You're going to see less of some of the other bats. But for probably Grandal and Barnes, you're going to see a little bit more Barnes coming up here soon. on the verge of losing his starting spot again in September. So look for Barnes. Barnes has been having much better at bats. He might be starting to take over that. I don't know if not yet, but he's starting to take that over. I know Kike's story on his pine tar on his hat. Okay. Well, you know what? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, and that's what most people do. Let's see. Try going back over to Periscope for a minute. I hate when... I already did that. Hello. Hey, Dinos. What's up? Your opinion on Chargois. I don't have a strong opinion about Chargois. I don't really like Chargois that much. I don't think he's got the guts for this game right now. I think he needs another year. He might be better next year, but I don't think that Chargois is ready for the big time yet. I know you got the same... It's the same two. I don't know how you guys do this. So you have two different people asking the same question exactly at the same time. Weird. But I think Chargois, when he gets into a tough situation, he overthrows and he just tries to put everything he can behind it, and he's walking guys, and so Chargois just is not ready. All right, I knew this was going to come up at some point. Dinos, Farmer needs to be full-time catcher. Kyle Farmer is not a catcher anymore. They do not, I was talking to future Dodgers on Instagram, or sorry, on Twitter, and they were saying that the Dodgers just don't like him as a catcher. He is not a defensive catcher enough, and so they don't like him behind the plate. And Rocky Gale is now your third catcher. It's Grandal, Barnes, and Rocky Gale. So you're not going to see Farmer catch at all. He is a third baseman and first baseman sometimes. But you already have enough first baseman, you already have enough third baseman. He's just going to get a random at-bat here and there, or be a pinch runner or something along those lines. My opinion is that the Dodgers need to start swinging at first pitch strikes and not letting themselves get into 0-2 strikes. Dr. Baseball, that's your doctor's opinion is well received, and I hear it, but a lot of it is being patient. A lot of what they do is that they are a patient hitting team, and they're going to try and get deeper into counts so that the starting pitcher gets out of the game in the 5th instead of the 6th or the 7th inning, and then you get to the bullpen faster, because most bullpens can be beat and are not very good. And so when you can get to the bullpen, you're going to start getting better at bats and you're starting scoring more runs. So they're going to take longer at bats for the most part and not swing at first pitch strikes, and that's how that's going to be. Taylor Spencer, Kirsch and Buehler and someone else, Nick. Okay, so Nick probably said Nick Stocks. Oh, we're not going to talk to you. Kirsch and Buehler and someone else. Let's see. Who are the starters this weekend? The starters this weekend, Steven Ladner, are Kershaw tomorrow, Walker Buehler on Saturday, and Alex Wood on Sunday. Alex Wood looked really good until he got into the later innings. He's been good for the first 4 or 5 innings, then he kind of starts slowing down. But I think you get great outings from Kershaw and from Walker Buehler. By the way, the last time that Walker Buehler pitched in Colorado, I think he went 8 innings of no-run ball. They ended up losing that game, which was ridiculous. But he went 8 innings, no run ball in Colorado. So I'm excited to see Buehler on Saturday, and Kershaw, who's been pitching much, much better. So both of those guys, I think, are going to be wins, and I think they lose on Sunday. So 2 of 3. That's what I'm saying. 2 of 3. Wow, thanks for that update, Intring. You're welcome. Let's see. When will we see Stripling pitch Colorado as bullpen? Yes, Dinos. He's coming back. He's set to return in Colorado, and he's going directly to the bullpen. So there's another arm right out of the bullpen that's going to take away time from Josh Fields, who looked terrible, and Yimi Garcia, who looked terrible, and JC Chargois, who has also been bad. So they're just going to see a lot there. Let's see. Bingo. Smart ball. Make the starter work. Okay. We will make the playoffs. No negative. Yes, Millie Rod, I'm with you. Dodgers all the way with the up sign. I'm not really sure what the up sign's for, but I'm right there with you. Hitters do all the time watch strikes. Sometime down the middle, they do. I mean, it depends on the type of pitcher you got. Pitchers are smart too. It's not just the batter, so we need to remember that as well. You know, a pitcher could be a sinker ball pitcher, or a splitter that drops down, or or it's a changeup that looks like it's going to come in fast and then it slows down and it lowers down. So you're seeing it in the middle of the plate and it just drops out of the zone. They're thinking it's going to drop out of the zone, and sometimes it doesn't. You have to wait for what you think is the best pitch, but a lot of times, yes, it's tough when you watch a game right in the middle. Alma Rodriguez, Friday, I'm not sure if I messed it up, but Friday is Kershaw, Saturday is Bueller, and Sunday is Wood. If we sweep Colorado, then Greg and I are winning the lottery. Well, great. I need the money, so please bring it on. Have you ever bet against the Dodgers? I do not bet against the Dodgers. I don't bet against my team. I'm a UCLA fan. I don't bet against UCLA. They're terrible in football, but they're just not there yet, and I still don't bet against them. I just can't do that. Frankie Villas, thank you. Gray, Freeland, Anderson. So they have, look, they can hit Tyler Anderson. They've hit Tyler Anderson, although that is an Alex Wood game. John Gray's been good. Kyle Freeland's actually been really good at Coors Field, and so is Walker Buehler. So that Freeland-Wood Buehler game on Saturday, that's going to be a great game. That's going to be a really strong game. Would we use Ross Stripling for 3 to 4 innings, Taylor Spencer? It just depends on what happens. Like, say it's Sunday, right? And Alex Wood only goes 4 innings. Maybe you do see 2 to 3 innings out of Ross Stripling. It's very possible. So, but like for the most part, they have so many pitchers now that you don't see. They're not going to see too many two inning games too much. Someone need to bet on this weekend. Hey, Brandon Piley, that's your guy right there. If you want to bet make some bets, Brandon Piley, Facebook, that's where you want to go for your betting needs. He'll help you out. Go find him. I said tomorrow. Oh, Alma, I apologize. Yes, Friday it looks like it's Kershaw versus Gray, Saturday Bueller versus Freeland, and Wood versus Anderson on Sunday. Think blue, live blue, bleed blue, and die happy. Go Dodgers. Yeah, you like how I did it all fast like that? Because I think I should just make that. I'm going to make that into big words and put it on the background of my Twitter and Instagram and just say, think blue, live blue, bleed blue, die happy. Boom. Big fan of that. I'm going to use that from now on. Kershaw on Friday can't rely on a slider. He's been relying on a slider. He's been relying on hitting his spots, and he's been really doing a great job of being a 91-mile-an-hour pitcher. So that's what we're going to see more of. Would you say that we have a good starting rotation for the postseason? Yes, I actually do. I think we have a great starting rotation in the postseason. I think having Kershaw, Bueller, Hill, and probably maybe Ryu or Wood. I think probably Wood there. You really only need the top 3 guys and maybe 4, but for the most part, Kershaw, Bueller, Hill are solid 1, 2, 3. And if you bring in whoever's pitching the best between Ryu, who had a rough outing tonight in a weird way, Ryu, Wood, and maybe even Stripling, whoever's pitching the best out of them, they are going to be the 4th starter. And you really don't use your 4th starter too often usually. Do you think Fields won't be out the pen much to save him for the postseason? I don't think you're going to see much of Fields. I mean, you might see more of Fields because then he needs to figure it out. He looked bad in AAA. He looked bad in the game last night. So you may see Fields in blowouts to try and figure it out. Otherwise, I don't think you see him in tough games. I never bet against my teams. Go UCLA, go Dodgers, go Lakers, go Rams. By the way, my Rams are going to destroy your Raiders. I'm a Raiders fan. I don't believe it. I'm upset about Khalil Mack, but I still think they're still going to win 7 games. I don't think they're very good this year. I'm hoping that the offense proves me wrong, though. I like every other team. UCLA, Dodgers, Lakers. Good for you, Steven. Let's see. Taylor Spencer, is the fastball Kershaw has a problem with, but still is the goods? Taylor, look, the fastball has been... It doesn't have the speed that it once had, but it still has the location, and that's what he's looking for. We talk about it all the time. Greg Maddux is the guy that did the same thing. He just found location, and that's why he got so many outs, and he played so well. So, all right, I got 2 minutes left. Here comes that speed round of the 2 minutes. Off topic, but who do you think is going to win Cy Young for the NL? Jacob deGrom. If it's not Jacob deGrom, it's a problem. Because the other 2 guys, Aaron Nola is the only one that's even in the race, and he may not even make the pennant race. He may not even make it to the playoffs. So Jacob deGrom, by far, he's like half a point better in ERA than the next guy, which is Scherzer, I believe, maybe Nola. He has a below a 1.7 ERA, and he's 8-8. It's ridiculous what the Mets did to him. Jacob, bye. See ya. Did you see that Braves game? I saw it earlier in the game. I saw Ronald Acuna Jr. is something else, man. That dude and Juan Soto, those are your stars going forward. They are so good. Let's see. And I might DM you. Okay. I always do post game. Who's pitching the wild card game? We're not going to wild card. We're going to be in a regular game. We're going to be in the series. We're making the playoffs. We're winning the division. So that's not going to happen. All right. Is Bueller still on a pitch count or limited starts? No. Boyo Bob. No, he's not. He is just pitching now. He is just there. They're not giving him any kind of limits whatsoever. He had some time on the DL, and then he had some time where he wasn't ready to go. He went back to AAA for a little bit. He is not on any pitching whatsoever. I would do a post game tomorrow if there was a game tomorrow, but there's no game tomorrow, so I will not see you tomorrow. I'll try and do one over the weekend. Maybe. I got a lot of family stuff to do, so I don't think I'm going to be doing one tomorrow. But anyway, all right, that's going to do it for me. Remember, follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram, @BergmanGreg, @BergmanGreg. There, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you still have. Just go on there onto Twitter, and I'll answer whatever I can. Always remember #DNPostgame too. If I don't answer on #DNPostgame, anybody else from the Dodgers Nation crew will help that out as well. Love talking to you. I agree with you on so much stuff. Thank you, Taylor. I love talking to all you guys too. All right, that's it for me. I'm sorry that we lost 2 of 3, but they're going to take 2 of 3 from Colorado and be alone in first place when I talk to you guys again, hopefully Monday or earlier. All right, see ya. Peace.